Mhm.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum students. This is your teacher, Sir Minhaj Akhtar, and today we are going to start our ICT 0417 Computer Science. There it is. And we are going to start the chapter number 1.
Yes.
Okay, so the chapter number 1 is types of a computer system. In the demonstration, I remember I have teach you about hardware and software. So what are hardware? Hardware is a type of a physical term, right? Like hardware are the general term used for the physical component like mouse,
Mhm.
keyboard, monitor. But softwares are totally opposite. Softwares are the general term used for the computer programs that are stored inside the hard drive.
Computer.
Huh.
Hardware, yes.
You can say computer as well. Okay. So there are two types of software, application software and system software. How many types of
Yeah.
software are there? Application and system. So
Mhm.
application software, if we discuss in detail, so we got some application software examples like Windows, like Mac, iOS software, like Android, Linux, right? These are some these are not some application, these are some system software. Acha?
Mhm.
Okay, Linux. Okay. Now application softwares. Application softwares, please avoid spelling mistakes. Application softwares are the like Microsoft Word, like Excel, like PowerPoint, PC. Do you understand what is the difference between application and system?
Yes. Okay.
System software are the software which runs your computer, and application softwares are the software which runs to perform some particular task for the users, right?
Mhm.
Okay, we will do the detailed example of this as well. Now, first discuss the hardware. Hardware falls into two categories, external and internal. So what are external hardware? Like input, output, and storage devices. Like the
Mhm.
motherboard. They are
Yes.
motherboard resided inside the computer. So it is internal, right? Random access memory is internal. ROM is internal. Video card is internal. These all are internal. But if I'm talking about monitor, is it internal or external?
Monitor is external.
So it is an external device. What about
Yes.
keyboard? Keyboard is an external hardware, right? So how many types
Yes.
of hardware are there? Two types, internal hardware and
External.
external hardware. Okay. So let's discuss the application softwares, as we have discussed that application softwares are the type of a softwares which are resided in the hard drive, isn't it? So there
Yes.
are some application software. So application softwares runs the particular task for the user. Like if I wanted to write a document, so what software I use? I use Word. If I wanted
Mhm.
to make a table, so definitely I go for the database. So application software program that allow the user to do a specific task.
Okay.
There it is. Programs that allows the user to do a specific task. So the first type of the soft application software is word processor. It is a very common, I used it already.
Mhm.
Have you used MS Word in your computer?
Yes, we have.
Okay, so word processor software is used to manipulate text documents. So it is used for writing the text. Like you're making a document, you're making a project, you're writing a letter, you're making some kind of notes, some memorandums. So these all needs are covered in Microsoft Word, like such as essay or
Okay.
report, right? Okay, what are the functions Microsoft Word can do? Like it can create, editing, saving, and manipulating text. It can copy and paste function. These are some common things, right? Spelling checkers, importing photo images into the structured page format, translation into the language. So these are the features of Word. A spreadsheet, you know that a spreadsheet is used for calculations, for making reports, for making graphs, right? For making
Yes.
complex calculations. So spreadsheet software is used to organize and manipulate numerical data, like uses of formulas, ability to produce graph, ability to do modeling, and what if calculations. Third is a
Mhm.
database. Database is a software that is used to organize and manipulate data. Like in your classroom, there are 30 students. Student name, father name, address, email, telephone number, all things are stored somewhere in the computer. That is called the database, in which you have the information about the students. So that type of data used to create by a software, and that softwares are referred as database softwares.
Mhm.
In database, we use tables that consist of rows and columns, right?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay. And their ability to carry out queries on database about data and produce a report, delete and modify data. Like,
Okay.
let me show you an example. Just a second. Okay. Are you able to see a whiteboard?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So right here, you can see I have drawn a whiteboard for you. And right here, I'm going to draw a table, right? And this table, I told you for database, it is mandatory to draw the table, right? So I'm drawing it,
Mhm.
right? These are some lines. These are called columns. And these are called rows. Did you know this?
Yes.
What we call rows. Rows को और कुछ भी कहा जाता है.
Sir, rows are the like
Serial
this
number.
part,
Don't know this part?
the
Me.
horizontal. Yes.
Okay. Age. Address. And contact email, right? These are some fields, right? These are some.
Yes.
In these fields, we are going to organize the data, right? Like serial one, name, Asif, age 14, address, UAE, email, asif@gmail.com. So you can see the whole thing, what I have drawn here. So the whole thing, what I have drawn here, written here, right here, is called record. What it called? Record. So rows are called
Yes.
records. That was that is the thing I'm asking from you. Rows or records. And these are the columns. These are the
Mhm. Columns.
columns. They are known as fields.
Okay.
So these rows and columns, rows or field makes a complete database. Understand?
Yes.
Let's move again to the book. Okay, so control and measuring applications are also there. In that applications, we can control We can use the softwares which control some particular things. Likewise, for controlling applications, the trains, like the trains, the aeroplanes are being controlled by a particular autopilot system. So these are some kind of things here. So let's see. Control and measuring software is designed to allow a computer to microprocessor to interact with sensors, like measuring physical quantities in real world, such as temperature. Controlling applications chemical process by comparing sensors, etc., etc. In an industries, or I told you, in an aircraft, the autopilot option is being used with the help of some sensors and some other technologies. So these are the other things which are being operated by application softwares that are specifically designed application software, not ordinary. Okay. Apps, short for application, refers to the type of a software that runs on mobile phones, like video and music, GPS, camera facilities. These all are referred as apps, right?
Yes.
Okay. In just a second, please. Okay. Photo editing software, video conversion, and graphic is in your homework. So you have to just go through it in your homework and let me know if you have any problem.
Okay.
Perfect?
Yes.
Note it down somewhere. Now let's discuss about the system softwares. Do you remember I told you system softwares are specifically designed to perform a particular task, or they are going to run the whole computer, or they are going to control the whole computer.
Computer. Yes.
Like Windows. Windows is a particular software which is responsible to control the whole computer, as well as input devices and output devices, like a printer. A printer is being installed if you have a Windows. If you don't have a Windows or any operating system, you cannot use anything.
Okay.
Okay, now the first software or system software is compiler. What are compilers? Do you know about compiler?
Yes, sir. It's a computer language.
It's a translators. It is a translator which is used to translate our human language, high-level language, into a machine code.
Low level. Yes.
Like 1 and 0s. These are called machine codes. Right? Okay. So that it can be directly used by the computer. So after converting our high-level language into this binary code, the computer is now able to understand what user want. So this job is done by compiler.
Okay.
Linkers. Linker or link editor is a computer program that once or more object file produced by a compiler and combines them into a single program. Now, compiler compile the data and make the file. Right? Like this is 1010011. Now, this is a file 1. I'm writing file here. File 1. Now, compiler is going to compile another data. 1100111. This is another file. So in this way, the files are organized together and they are linked together like this.
Yes.
Linker is a type of an system software which is going to link all the compiled files together to make a single program. I hope you understand it now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, device drivers. It's a very common thing. Device driver is a kind of drivers which are used to installed into a computer, and then some particular hardware are able to do work, like printers. Like if you're using an HP printer, you must use a driver. Without driver, you cannot use the hardware. Now you ask,
Mhm.
sir, in my home, I have a printer. I just plugged it into my laptop and it's working. Yes, it will work because in Windows 10, Windows 11 or Mac, they have a built-in drivers from majority of
Okay.
the devices. Or once you just plug in into the USB, that hardware, the printer is connected with the computer and it automatically installed into the computer. So after a couple of seconds, you can see device driver found, or you can see
Mhm.
a message down there, your hardware is ready to use, because Windows automatically detect the hardware and find the device driver and install.
Yes.
A device driver is a name given to a software that enables one or more hardware devices to communicate with the computer system. So device drivers are the kind of the software which enables hardware devices while we connect to
Mhm.
the operating system.
Okay.
Operating system and utilities are in your homework, okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, internal computer hardware. We have discussed about the internal and external. In internal, we have motherboard, RAM, ROM. These are some common things, RAM and ROM. So you know it already, right? What is motherboard?
Sir, motherboard consists of uh, the motherboard consists of
Mhm.
it is a hardware
Of course, it is
and
the hardware.
mm, and it
Let me tell you.
consists
Let me
of
tell you. Basically, a motherboard is a kind of a circuit.
oh yes.
In that circuit, the processor is hosed. The RAMs are hosed, right?
Yes.
Everything is
Mm-hmm.
hosted in that motherboard. That is why it is called mother. Just like your mom in your home, she organizes everything, isn't it? So in
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
computer, there is a mother, a board that is called a motherboard, which is going to organize your whole computer.
Yes.
So a motherboard is a printed circuit board found in all computers, right?
Mm-hmm.
It allows a processor and other computer hardware to function and communicate with each other. So it allows
Yes.
all the hardwares, right,
Mm-hmm.
to do the function and perform the work.
Yes.
RAM and ROM. Did you know about RAM and ROM?
Yes, sir. RAM stores permanent data. Sorry, ROM stores permanent data, and RAM
Perfect.
stores
Perfect. Now,
temporary data.
video card. As you know, in your computer, you watch movies.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. So video card is there, which is going to allow us to watch movies. So video card allows the computer to send graphical information to a video display device such as a monitor. Like this is a monitor, this is a CPU. In this CPU, there's a video card. I'm just writing VC. So once you are going to watch any video, the VC is going to send the signal to the monitor,
Mm-hmm.
and then you are able to watch movie, right? So a video card are usually made up of a processing unit. Like it is a type of a card like this. It is just like a motherboard, which have an ICs and some transistors, small transistors like this. So it's a kind of a circuit, right? So it consists of a processing unit,
Yes.
it consists of a memory unit, and it consists of a display unit. So all three units are there.
Okay.
Okay, sound card and SSDs in your homework. Mark.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So you can see here, this is a RAM right here with us. And yes. So this is called a RAM. You can see here. This is a ROM, a black chip. This is a video card. You can see here. It's an SSD. It's like a battery, but it's not a battery. It's an SSD. So sound cat, motherboard. Yes, there it is. Let me zoom in so you can just see it more easily. Look, in motherboard, it's a huge circuitry there, and it consists of millions of transistors and capacitors inside it. So motherboard is a type of a word in itself, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just a second, please.
Yes, sir.
Just a second. Okay, so what topics we have done up till now, or like we have first done hardware, software definitions, right? Then we come to know that hardware types,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then we have done software types, right? Like in software, in hardware we have
Yes.
types. Like number one is internal, and number two is external, isn't it? And in software we have done application software
Mm-hmm.
and system software. Now you need to write down the definitions for hardware and software, right? You need to write down one internal and one external example, and then you need to write about one application software and one system software. Do it now. You have 10 minutes. So in our computer, you know that computer is a combination of input devices, output devices, and secondary storage devices. So input devices means keyboard, mouse. Output devices means monitor and printer. And secondary storage devices comes with DVD, removable hard drive, or you can say SSDs, right? You can say CDs, right?
Yes.
Many devices are known as secondary storage
Mm-hmm.
devices. So if we are discussing about the internal hardware, these consist of four key components. Like we have discussed about the internal hardware. So we discuss about the motherboard. So in motherboard, we have a CPU. In motherboard, we have a internal hard drive.
Yes.
In motherboard, we have RAM, and in motherboard, we have ROM. So all these are the internal hardware parts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So first, we are going to discuss about the CPU. What is CPU? Do you know? Do you have any idea?
So it's the central processing unit.
Yes, it is a central processing unit. You can say, sir, whatever we perform on a computer, it is being accessed with the help of a CPU. So the CPU is a part of a computer that interprets and executes the command from the computer hardware and software. Like whatever we type with the help of a keyboard, that command or statement is first transferred into the CPU. The CPU is going to
Mm-hmm.
read that command, interpret that command, and then send to the monitor, and we can see it on a monitor. Like we are typing the document. So whatever we are typing, it first going to the CPU. CPU reads our data. CPU translates our data, and then it's sent to the monitor or the printer or any other way,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So how does CPU made up of? It is made up of discrete component and numerous and small ICs, integrated circuit. These were combined together one or more circuit board. Like ICs are the small chips like this. Small chips, a black colored small chips. These are called ICs like this. The whole one is the black colored. And they are gonna be host like this on our motherboard like this. From everywhere they have a pins. And that pins are going to be connected with the motherboard. So these ICs are combined together and make a one complete circuit. So that circuits are the part of our CPU. In CPU,
Okay.
we have a very important component which is called microprocessor,
Yeah.
right? So this is a single integrated circuit. So one of the circuit, I'm telling you the circuits. So one of the circuit, the main important circuit of the central processing unit is called a microprocessor. And microprocessor is also known as a heart of PC, right?
Okay.
So
Yes.
CPU is made up of a control unit, input and output devices, and arithmetic and logic unit. So these are the component of CPU. I'm telling you again, this is my CPU. So CPU is made up of what? CPU is made up of control unit. See here, control unit. IO devices means input output devices. ALU, arithmetic and logic unit, right?
Yes.
And one more thing, RAM, right?
Yes.
So take the screenshot, it will be easy for you to understand things.
Yes, okay.
Okay. So after CPU, we are going to start our topic of hard drive. What is hard drive? Hard drive or a solid state drive is the most common and important part of computer, which is used to, yes, which is used to, come on, store data,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yes.
Like in your computer, there is a hard drive, or you can say, sir, SSD, right?
Yes.
Now, what is RAM? RAM and ROM. RAM is an internal chip, which is temporary, and it temporarily stores our data, and ROM is a permanent chip, which stores the information that needs to be permanent. Like once you start your computer, ROM is there. ROM is responsible to boot our computer. Remember, ROM is used to boot our computer. Boot means?
Startup.
Yes, perfect. Boot means start, right?
Yes.
Okay. Operating system. So the most important thing is operating system. What is operating system? In start, I told you.
So the types of operating system.
No, dear. I'm just asking what is operating system? So operating system is the system software,
Yes.
right?
Which
Which
controls the
is,
hardware
yes,
and
yes,
software.
used to control the computer,
Yes.
devices, and hardware, everything, etc. So the short form of operating system is OS. The to enable computer system to function and to allow users to communicate with computer, a special software known as operating system has been developed. Because operating system is just kind of like a captain of the ship. And that is a captain who is control the whole ship, whole activities, right? So write down about operating system. No, not operating system. You need to, okay, fine. Just write down the definition of operating system, and you need to write down the journal task. Like what are the tasks of operating system? Controlling of operation of the IO devices, supervising loading and running the storage, dealing with errors. You need to write only 3 along with this.
Okay.
Do it now, quick.
Yes.